Now, the comp has changed a little from last year and what they do in the regular tour. Everyone will get 2 shots at the final. Today in round number 1, it's 4 heats of 6 laps. The top 2 finishers advance directly to the final. The rest go to round 2. In the second round, shares tomorrow on ABC. They race 2 heats again. The top 2 move to the final. Then the selected 12 race for the gold tomorrow night on ESPN. And there you take a look at Tucker Hibbert. All those big numbers, but he failed to make the final last year.
He did fail to make that final, but we know how fast Hibbert is.
And let's take a look at the New Balance 8-pack, the lineup. 2 young, fast guys on the left there.
Bander and Patton are really fast off the line. That's what counts in this race because it is such a fast racetrack and only 6 laps to try and fight to the front. So let's take a look at this lineup. Out here, this is Tucker Hibbert. He chose the outside. And then you have both Bander and Patton sitting in the 3rd and the 5th spots. They've chosen the outside because it seems to be that you get into this wide line so fast.
All the sleds are getting ready on the line, ready to climb on, ready to go racing. Left of your picture there is Doug Morrissey. He is the flagman for the start. You see Tucker Hibbert over on the far left. A lot to make up from last year, but he's been really good on the regular tour. They're ready. Points at each and every rider. Checking the line. And here we go. Oh, and already we got one guy tumbling, and Tucker Hibbert just came screaming out of there.
Wow, that was an incredibly fast start for Mr. Hibbert, but Bender, who we talked about being fast off the line, he had a terrible start. He's down, and that essentially just takes him out of this race.
Tucker Hibbert did exactly what he wanted. He just came roaring out of there. Schultz and Ekstrom have come in behind him. And now the course splits. You've got really a choice there. Hibbert decides the inside is good.
This is a very tough section of the course. We call it the technical rhythm because it's very hard to judge from peak to peak in each one of those jumps exactly what you need to do. The number 5, Mike Schultz, is chasing down Tucker Hibbert. And Hibbert loves racing from the front of the pack.
First and second, because they don't race again until the final tomorrow night on ESPN. Everybody else, the 8 remaining, will have to go into round 2, race tomorrow afternoon with coverage on ABC. So it really behooves you to try and get away without having to race that second time. It's easier on the equipment, it's easier on the body, and when you got to race 18 laps, yes, that's right, 18, that's a long distance. A little resting up will help.
So Hibbert looks like he's pulling away just slightly, but there's a fight now for second place between the number 5 of Mike Schultz and the 25 of DJ Ekstrom.
And Schultz coming up the hill first. Ekstrom goes to the inside line. We see how they come down the hill now. This is the transfer spot. This is what matters. The guy in second place. As long as Tucker Hibbert is in front, he can relax just a little bit, if you can say that, when you're moving at the speeds they are, flying 110, 130 feet through the air.
And as we well know in Snowcross, anything can and will go wrong. And especially when you look at these roller sections, because every time, every lap, the lips change because the tracks of the snowmobiles are digging them up. So you never quite know how much lift you're going to get. But Tucker is looking pretty secure and a great on board there with Tucker Hibbert. He knows as well as we all do, the number 2 position is the only thing that's important in his life right now because he transfers straight through to the final. He doesn't have to race anymore until we get into that final round. Unfortunately, I just don't think he's got enough time to catch the number 5, but we've been wrong before.
Yeah, exactly. We've got one more lap to do it. White flag is out, and it's not just the racing, it's what the course can do to you and what a tiny mistake can mean. I mean, you can just leave by Laval. Yeah, that wasn't really good at all. Couldn't hit that hill quite that way.
But surprisingly enough, even Schultz had trouble going through there too. This thing is going to be a man-eater all night long. But look at how far Tucker Hibbert has pulled away from the rest of the field.
Tucker Hibbert, last time across the line, a full 7 seconds ahead of second place Schultz. First and second will move directly to the final tomorrow night. Everybody else goes to round number 2, which will be raced tomorrow afternoon, and we'll have coverage on ABC.
And here's the race round the final corner. Can Patton do it? No, just not enough, and it was so close at the line.
He made up an incredible amount of distance in that last lap, but fell about 5 feet short. So it's Hibbert and Schultz that will move on into the final round, and the remaining 8, Patton, Ekstrom, Davis, Nakazawa, Ekray, and Bender, will all have to race in round 2 tomorrow afternoon. Well, what's that tell us about what we've seen thus far? Here's the start again.
The start, it was such a tight space they were trying to cram into, which is a surprise since it's so wide. And now we're going to take a look at this again from the onboard camera. What a tough break for Brett Bender. He really is fast on the start normally. Here we go again. Nakazawa had to check up there on the inside, and I think that's what caused a lot of the carnage behind him. But Hibbert, no doubt on that hole shot. He was super fast, and all the way from the outside on the start line.
Just stayed to the outside. Now take a look at this pass.
I mean, he just had the perfect line through this corner after making such a mistake. Wow.
Right down and turned under him. Ekstrom comes right back on the inside. And this was the finish for second and third place, decided in favor of Schultz. So we'll take a look at everybody going to go ahead forward. Of course, it will be Tucker Hibbert, and it will be Schultz. Coming up next, we'll see Blair Morgan in his heat. We've also wired him, and that's fascinating. Well, Tucker Hibbert did what he needed to do. He's already in the final. He can relax tonight most of the day. Up next, it's going to be Blair Morgan. But first, let's show you this course here. It's longer and a bit faster than last year.
It is quite a bit faster than last year because there's no real mogul field in there, and that's going to count for guys like Robbie Malinowski and fast guys like Blair Morgan.
Now let's take a look at our edge starting lineup. Of course, Blair Morgan will be right there, but also we want to take a look at T.J. Gula and Matt Pichet.
Matt Pichet, what can you say about this guy? He is just incredibly tough. And T.J. Gula, he won a pro open race only 2 weeks ago. He's very, very fast. So sitting looking at the line, and we've got TJ sitting right here. This should be a great position in the start because we see that the outside is really what counts.
So the line clear. Keep an eye on Blair Morgan, the closest to you. He's awesome. Round 1, heat 2 is underway. Whoa, and they're banging at the front.
And it looks like Matthew Marin got off the line first and got the hole shot. But look at TJ Gula, the 44 fight down the middle of the line.
Yeah, but you saw those hay bales go. That is a scurrying Blair Morgan who got stuffed back into 4th place and is now trying to come forward. He almost got it to 3rd and he got shut off again.
So the important thing is the first 2 sleds transfer through the final. And the green sled on the left there, that is the rookie Danny Ebert on board with Blair Morgan.
Blair Morgan back having to fight his way through this pack. An unexpected situation. Marin and Ebert run at the front. And already the field stretches up as they make the climb.
This is a great story for Dan Ebert. I mean, he's a rookie at the Winter X Games. He's been having a great year, but to be sitting in this position has to feel so good. But I wouldn't want to look back and see that Henges sled of the number 44 TJ Gula breathing down my neck, and there's an awful lot of racing left.
Yeah, not with TJ right there. That is going to be tough. On the other hand, riding a very similar green sled in his very first year, Tucker Hibbert went on to take a win and a gold medal as a rookie, so it is possible. Watching Morgan now.
Morgan is starting to work his way up the hill, and this is the incredibly technical section. He needs to get 4th place. He wants to fight all the way up there because he doesn't want to have to race again before the final. Nice pass there by Blair Morgan.
Morgan's got that 4th now. His next target is T.J. Gula. But there's some distance. Look at that distance. That fight with Pichet actually cost him some time.
Look at TJ Gula's line there. He went so high on the banking to try and rail around and keep his speed coming into the technical section there, into the rhythm. And I think it actually paid off because it looks like he's catching up to Danny Ebert. And Ebert is even starting to catch up too to Moran. Oh,
Yeah,
wow,
not just catch up. He's by.
wow.
So now the situation changes just a bit.
That's amazing. Dan Ebert, his first race, the rookie at
And there comes Gula as he comes into second.
Gula in second place. That's where he wants to be. Now he's going to chip away at Ebert. But it doesn't look like Matthew Marin is getting up at all. He's chasing TJ Gula. He's going to follow his lines.
There's your Edge fly cam as we take a look at the leader, Ebert on number 602. First, second, and third now. Morgan coming down the hill, trying to catch up. Third lap of 6, the scheduled distance.
Morgan is now chasing. He's trying to eat away and catch up to Marin. And then he's going to be looking for Gula. The real question is, with only a couple of laps to go, is he going to have enough time?
Well, we're at the halfway point. There's 3 to go, and that's been enough. But if you run it down like he just did, you're not going to go that far and fast. First and second come through.
Ebert is still holding off Gula, and Gula has been incredibly fast this year in Pro Open competition. But this is fantastic riding by Danny Ebert. His dad Russ is the Arctic Cat race manager, and he is certainly showing how good those cats are running right now.
Ebert still maintains a position, uses a little tighter line in that last turn. TJ follows in behind him. TJ at the moment is unchallenged. First and second go to the finals. Now we're going to take you back to Blair Morgan. 27, of course, is Matt Morin. And Morgan, you can just see him up at the top.
And it's a surprise, but it looks like Morgan is he's almost backed off a little bit from Morin. I think some of those technical mistakes have cost him.
Or mechanical. This course has really been beating him up pretty hard. The ice, the snow, they say, is ice hard.
And look at how tough it is to come up the technical rhythm section. The fight still continues in the front, and Dan Ebert still holds off the charging TJ Gula.
This is absolutely amazing.
The kid is never racing in the top pros, and here he is. What an introduction to the Winter X Games.
And you know what? If I'm TJ, maybe I'm thinking, oh, let the kid have it. He wants it so bad. Gula moves over the inside, and then he almost dumps it.
We've definitely seen Gula make mistakes, and look what's happening now. Marin is now charging right behind TJ Gula. That could have been a costly mistake as they go into the last lap.
Yeah, Gula's bigger problem is Marin. It looks like Ebert's going to go on to the win on this, the final lap. Oh, no!
No!
Can you believe it? We're going to call that a LaValle?
That is a total LaValle.
He had the thing totally in hand. Oh, no. So obviously Gula goes to the lead, Marin goes to second, and they will become the transfer, assuming they can get to the line.
Assuming they can make it, but I think they're pretty close. Sometimes those dreams come to an end all too quick. A great run for Dan Ebert, but I guess he's going to have to come back and just try it again.
Can you imagine what he is thinking right now? I had it. I had it totally. Well, the man who does have it, apparently, is number 44, TJ Gula. Checkered flag flies in front of him. He takes the win. Marin across the line in second. They transfer, and Blair Morgan will have to go to round 2 competition tomorrow on ABC in order to make it into this final. Wow, huh?
Wow, that was incredible. I thought Ebert had that thing in the bag, but we've got some surprises happening on this course. We saw some incredible things going in practice. He comes off the corner and just cases the top. Oh, wow, that's a tough get-off for Dan Ebert.
Yeah, and you wonder when he's down in that valley, where is he? And where's that next sled coming through? We'll look at it again here.
You see the track clips the top. It sends the skis right into the face of the other jump. And watch TJ Gula.
Gula right over the top, right over his head. Well, there he is, still brushing snow off of him. They may be doing that for a while. Wow, what a terrible disappointment for the kid. He was going to be such a story. He was going to advance. He will not. So joining Hibbert and Schultz will now be TJ Gula and Matt Marin. So we have 4 determined for the final tomorrow night on ESPN.
Over at the Snowcross venue, Levi Lavalle is getting ready to hit the throttle, looking for a little redemption after last year. Stick around.
Here we go.
I had that race in the bag.
Can Blair Morgan catch Levi Lavalle?
You know, I just lost focus or something for that split second.
Lavalle with an error on the white flag. Morgan gets around him.
That could have definitely been me.
So much going on here as we get ready for the third of 4 heats. And if you finish in the top 2 in one of these, you are heading right on into the final. Thus far, these are the 4 that have made it to the final. Should you not make it and finish first and second, well, then you are on your way to round 2, which comes tomorrow afternoon. Levi Lavalle, remember what a story he has been. The first 14 laps of the 2006 Snowcross finals went like a dream for Levi. But as he approached the flag for the final lap, he fell off and watched Blair Morgan pass him. And here we go.
It sucks watching this. I mean, I've seen it a million times, and every time is just as painful as the first.
Levi Lavalle is now all alone on 108 in the lead. Can Blair Morgan catch Levi Lavalle and score a 5th gold medal?
I fell off. Had I not made that mistake, I could be holding the gold medal. Leading into the race, I'm like, oh, if I win, dude, I'm going off. I mean, maybe I got ahead of myself thinking that when I should have been thinking downslope that double.
Levi Lavalle, there he is, leader of the race, looking for a gold medal.
I had that race in the bag, and I blew it.
Over your shoulders, you swore you never looked, 'cause wasn't nothing back there but the blackness.
I could see Blair was behind me, and I was like, you gotta focus now, because this is when Blair turns it on. You just try to keep racing your own race, but you know, how can you not think about it when Blair Morgan's behind you? I went through that section 13 times perfect, and just one little slip up, it's out the window.
A 9-second lead at one point. Lavalle may have just thrown this race away and given Blair Morgan a 5th gold medal.
That hurt, seeing him take the medal. I put my silver medal right on top of the TV stand. I'm feeling lazy and I'm sitting on the couch. It says, sitting on the couch ain't gonna get you a gold medal. Getting out there and working your butt off is. I know I'm ready to win. I just gotta eliminate stupid mistakes like last year and move forward. I don't want people to just remember me for the guy that fell off and blew the whole race. You know, I want to win a gold medal.
Guys, I just finished talking to Levi Lavalle, and he is totally focused on this race. If Levi makes it into the main, right now, he has a chance at that ever-elusive gold medal. But the task at hand is throwing it down with a big, big line of heavy hitters. And everybody wants the same thing that Levi wants.
The good news is that Levi came in about a week early to get accustomed to the over 8,000 feet of altitude. We'll certainly be looking at number 108, but we'll also watch Sean Crapo and Steve Martin.
Well, the bad news is Martin and Crapo are also in this round, and they are tough to beat. They're certainly fast off the line, as we said. That is so important with only 6 laps to go. Here's Martin. Here's Crapo, and Lavalle sits on the outside, and I would say the real threat is going to be to Crapo because the guys in the middle seem to be getting pinched right off the line.
Lavalle has a very strong Tim Bender motor. That may help on this circuit. Line's ready. And here we go.
Wow.
Keep an eye on Lavalle. Oh, and he gets caught up. Can he come out of it? Oh, there's going to be a 4-way fight all the way up the hill.
That was an incredibly fast start from Martin. Then he had a problem.
He had spike fly cam. You look down on the course.
it's Turcotte who takes the lead. And I don't know what happened there because Martin had a great start. He had a problem on the first corner, and that just cost him and slowed him down.
Well, and once again, look at him trying to cut. This is a rhythm off rhythm section. You really have to be patient there. But look at this as they go head to head. LaValle and Turcotte. Turcotte's back there in the lead, and that's LaValle over on the far side.
LaValle had a little bit of trouble on the inside corner there. He clipped that tough block, little hay bale you see in the middle, and it sent him a little bit sideways. And I think maybe he's taking a smart line. He just said, okay, pace yourself. You've got a few laps yet. But here he comes again on the charge to Turcotte. He wants to be in the lead in this race.
108 LaValle sits in second place. The two have already separated about 2 seconds out from the rest of the field, who is now strung out.
Now watch as they come around the corner. This is the technical rhythm section, the man-eater on this course. Does Turcotte have the line, or is he going to slam? Oh, a problem for Turcotte there, but Levi doesn't seem to be catching.
Boy, that is just so tough. Such a rough section. No, normally that's a whoop section at X Games, but they've changed it, and it's kind of a mistimed uphill section now.
Third place now, the number 6, that green sledge, Carl Shabinski aboard the Arctic Cat. And still, Turcotte is holding off Levi LaValle.
Yeah, but it's tight at the front. There you get a good look at Shabinski as he comes up the hill. He's in third place. First and second, no. Levi is back on Turcotte.
And the Hemges team, Gula, LaValle, and Bender, those Polarises have been incredibly fast this year. Great motors. And Levi's just looking for a way through the door. And if Turcotte opens it, Levi's coming through.
Yeah, and that may have been just enough to do it as the rookie Turcotte comes off that badly. And there goes Levi LaValle out into the lead. And you look backwards from his sled from the onboard.
I think you called that one the bye-bye shot. Levi LaValle over that big 125-foot jump. Turcotte now is just eating his dust.
Since there, he waited and waited and made sure it was a good opportunity to pass. He may have been able to do it earlier, but it was smarter to do it then, and it got by clean, and he's on his way.
Very interesting from that onboard shot. Levi was actually talking to us earlier and told us that the snow is so hard that the tracks are actually kicking up chunks of ice in that dust. You see all the chunks of ice that are coming up now, and they're flying back at Turcotte. That's incredible roost. And not just the usual powder that you have to face, which, you know, kind of gives you just a nice chilly sensation. That stuff is just peppering you.
I'll tell you what, if Turcotte keeps that stuff up, then he's going to be in jeopardy from Shabinski coming up the hill.
So we see Turcotte come down the hill. And there's Shabinski. We see him. He's still chasing.
There's Shabinski, the green sled. Number 6 coming down the hill. See how he closes, whether or not he can. Again, another veteran here.
And Shabinski now aboard that green Arctic Cat. He's actually the only guy in the field who's raced on all 4 makes of sled.
7 times he's raced at the X Games. Best finish has been 5th. Back at the front, of course, you're taking a look at Levi, where last year part of the course was really a little too hard for him. But he still managed, despite his off, to finish in second place and take the silver. I'm trying to figure out what Turcotte is doing there. Is he just totally out of rhythm, or is that what he wants to do?
No, what we saw in practice, there were a lot of guys just coming back and forth onto the same section. They weren't even riding the whole track because they're trying to time out the rhythm. And the whole Hendages team of Gula, Bender, and LaValle spent probably 20 minutes together riding this
nose
thing.
to tail.
There were team tactics. Nobody else employed the same strategy. And look how it's paying off for Levi because he's riding it so smoothly, whereas Turcotte is just facing. He's just crashing into the back of those jumps.
And as we all know, we watched the white flag come out. 1 more lap to go. And Levi LaValle at least made it past the white flag this time. Followed by Turcotte and then Shabinski, who is closing in.
It looks like he's catching just a little bit.
So I was going to say, we remember in Snowcross, smooth is also fast. Sometimes a guy can look like he's just loafing it through, but he's flying. So there he is, launching Levi LaValle. Silver medalist last year, wants to make it into the final this year, and is looking for a big case of redemption for that mistake at the white flag.
And looking back up the hill on that shot on the big booter, Shabitsky was still chasing, but I don't think he has enough time to catch Turcotte. They have one more corner to go as Levi LaValle comes down towards the checkered flag.
Levi LaValle makes it to the checkers. He moves directly into the final tomorrow night on ESPN. And Turcotte, a little show at the end. Yeah, I'm into the final two.
He looks at LaValle, pulls that double can trick, and oh, look.
Yeah.
Launching Levi.
Levi's got his group, of course. Come on, no more cheering.
Launching Levi's ladies.
Yeah, the Levi ladies. That's good. So we're going to take you back. We'll look at this start again.
And Martin was just so fast on the start. Look, he gets to the inside, but he seems to drift and has a problem right there. All of the contact, that's what cost Martin the time and allowed Turcotte to come through.
And then the pass itself, here comes Levi up the hill.
And all of those problems, all of those faces that Turcotte was hitting, Levi just had the slingshot and came right around the huge berm, and bye-bye.
And of course that led to the checkered flag for launching Levi LaValle. And he moves into the final round along with Turcotte.
Someone should have told these guys that the freestyle was yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. Showing off there at the finish. That's one of the great additions, too, to X Games is the snowmobile freestyle this year. So that's the way it is. And here are the 6 now that have qualified directly into the final. Let's go down to Jerry Bernardo.
Longville, Minnesota's chosen Snowcross son, Levi LaValle. Talk about the weight lifted off your shoulders. You are now into the main. Ripping hole shots all morning. Tell me about the start.
Oh, man, the start was, I lined up way out wide, and I'm like, all right, you've been getting good starts. Just, you know, if you go out wide, you'll be able to rail that turn. And I got tangled up a little bit, came out, I think, 3rd, and got by some guys. I ended up getting past Turcotte, got in the lead, and, man, just tried to hold together.
6 laps down, Levi, 18 to go. Good luck.
Woo-ha!
2 weeks after I got out of my coma, I was in therapy. I had to relearn how to walk, talk, eat. I mean, I got tricked. It was a long recovery. I was in a back brace for 10 months.
So there is LePage, who says that his recovery was fueled by an immense desire to race at Winter X Games. So as we show you the competitors in this field, keep an eye on number 4. Keep an ear on him because it sounds different. It's a 4-stroke that Robbie Malinowski is powering.
It is a 4-stroke. He is Ross Martin's nemesis. And 2 weeks ago, he won the last Snowcross Pro Open. This is where Malinowski sits. And I have to tell you, that's probably the worst place on the grid. But the Yamaha is incredibly fast off the line. Can he get to the corner first?
Well, it's really smoothed out some of the sections. Keep an eye on this start. They're ready to go. A couple of them inch forward. Yeah, and Doug Morrissey doesn't like that. Now he checks the line again, says, hold on, here we go. Howard dropped him all the way back into about 7th. We'll see if it can pick up coming along the inside.
And in the lead, Kejit Kunicic.
And Bobby LePage, you see him there as he comes over in 2nd place, but he's under attack.
But look at Malinowski come through the field.
Here he is. Wow, that blue sled is Malinowski.
The loud blue force.
Oh, and he gets on to left with LePage. There they get going again.
Wow, that was a bad tangle up. 3rd place, the green sled there.
On board Malinowski here. Kunicic, LePage. They're the 2 at the front. They are the 2 that will transfer.
And this is Ryan Simons, the 67 green sled. He is chasing down Bobby LePage. Coming into this corner, it looks like he might have it, but
LePage gets him. Simon's going to try it again, though. Kunish's, LePage, Simons, Malinowski.
And here comes Malinowski again. I think maybe he was a little bit too keen there in that corner. Maybe a little bit too much power in that four-stroke Yamaha.
Well, think about what's going through the racer's mind. These are short races, only 6 laps. If I can get first or second, I'm free until the final. I'd love to do that. Boy, look, they're leaning on each other back there.
It's a great battle for second place because that's the transfer spot. Looks like Simons has got it. The mistake by LePage, and Simons goes through. But Cajun Kunishis is in the lead. The semi-pro from Jabougamau in Quebec, Canada.
Yeah, full-blooded Cree Indian. Actually speaks 4 languages. Good guy.
Now, I got to tell you, Cajun Kunishis is racing semi-pro this year, and I think the guy is sandbagging because he's put in a great performance here. He should race with these pros each and every week.
Oh, he should have been pro last year. Witness this performance right here. Simons comes up the hill. He's back 1.3 seconds behind. LePage is in third. They've stretched out.
Simons is pulling closer. He's really pulling Kunishis.
And now he's actually in a fight with Kunishis, and he's got a nose on him. Kunishis tries to come back on the inside and cannot do it.
Kunishis got stuck there in the middle of the technical rhythm, but LePage wasn't close enough to take advantage of it. You still see the blue sled of Malinowski there in 4, chasing his way up the rhythm section.
And we're past the halfway now. Simons, Kunishis, LePage. 4th place back there, the blue sled. That is Robbie Malinowski. That's the 4-stroke.
No, when we look at Malinowski now, it looks like Hayden
just got around him. Wow.
When we talk about this Yamaha 4-stroke, it's so different. It sounds different out there on the course, very growling and low and throaty. And it has a huge weight disadvantage. Robbie tells us it weighs probably 50 pounds more than the other 2-stroke sleds. And that costs you every lap. It fatigues you.
Yeah, and it takes a big, powerful guy like Robbie to be able to just manhandle that sled. Still, Malinowski is chasing Hayden. You see them down there in the turn as here comes LePage up the hill in 3rd place.
Both LePage and Kunishis having a lot of trouble in that uphill technical section. It's pounding riders tonight.
Everybody has talked a lot. You take a look at LePage, 3rd place, about that section in the uphill. It's in the past been a big whoop section, but they changed it. Why?
This is such hard snow. It's so hard that a regular snow cat can't even break it up to break it into the powder and the moguls that we're used to seeing. So instead, Joe Duncan came out and he said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to build this technical rhythm section. Honestly, we thought the riders would probably complain about it because it's so tough. But no, they say we love it. It really separates the men from the boys. And certainly, it separated them right now. And Ryan Simons is climbing up the hill and still pulling it away from Kunishis.
Yeah, you can see Kunishis now a full 4 seconds behind. The real question, 3 seconds further back, is LePage. Can LePage catch Kunishis in these final 2 minutes of the run here? Top 2 will transfer directly to the final. You have coverage tomorrow night on ESPN. Everybody else going to have to race in round number 2, and that coverage will come on ABC Sports tomorrow during the afternoon.
And I have to say that no matter where LePage finishes, he is absolutely satisfied a dream of his, the dream that he came out of his 26-day coma with after that crash with Martin. He's racing in the X Games. This is really what everything was focused on, and he's here tonight. He's putting in a great run. Can he catch Kunishis? I don't think so in 1 lap, but we've seen mistakes.
Oh, exactly.
They're pretty frequent around here. So as they come up that technical section, oh no, Kunishis looks like he's got a better line this time.
And it almost looks like Simons is relaxed just a little bit, knowing that he's on his final lap and that he has a pretty good pad, though it's whittled down. It's a little over 3 seconds now. LePage, well, he's still another 4 seconds behind Kunishis.
So a great run for Cajun Kunishis. Looks like he's going to move into the finals. Doesn't have to race anymore until the finals. And Ryan Simons, who has had a great season to this point, and also he's had the fifths at X Games before in 05 and 06, so he's kind of used to this. Takes the checkered flag.
Simons has the checkered. Kunishich will be next. Those two will transfer directly and round out the 8 that we needed to decide today. LePage, Hayden, Ross Martin, Hoffman, Malinowski, they all will have to race again tomorrow. Coverage tomorrow will be on ABC of round number 2, and then tomorrow night will be the final here on ESPN.
And we look at the start here, and it actually looked like Ross Martin and LePage had a good start. They came off there pretty good, but look at how far Martin drops back. The red sled just disappearing to the right there.
And then take a look at Robbie Malinowski as he gets caught up in the middle of everybody. And finally, after getting it stopped, he got it going again. And here comes Simon going for his second place and grabs it. And then he decided, motor on, why don't I just try and take the lead? And in fact, he does. Unheaded after that. So now the stage is set for 8 who are going to the finals, and there they are with the addition of Simons and Kunishich joining the rest of the group. Everybody else in the field, well, round 2. They will have to try and make it in then. 2 races at that time. There is Ross Martin. He's nervous. He hasn't done well here. New format this year is proving itself. 8 made the final yesterday. 4 will be added in 2 8-lap races that will occur over the next few minutes. And Blair Morgan is one of those that has to get in. Now let's look at the lineup for this very first race in our Taco Bell lineup. LePage, Martin.
Bobby LePage and Ross Martin have had some history in the past, with Martin landing on LePage at another race. This is going to be an interesting start. LePage is usually fast, but Robbie Malinowski, now this is the story today.
Hour and 20 minutes of work after a very big tumble. They took parts off the backup sled. They think it's ready to go. 12 sleds on the line.
There are 12 machines on this line. They're not used to having this many guys packed into such a small space, so it is going to have an incredible effect on the start. And the start is critical because they're all funneling through to one small little area. You can see here the start looks really wide, but it's not that wide because the guy on the inside is trying to come around here, and the guy on the outside is coming this way. He's trying to get to the middle, and guess what happens? You get pinched right between them.
Let's look from behind the line. The clock is counting down to the start of first of 2 heat races. These are the last chances.
We're coming in here. Here's Ross Martin and Robbie Malinowski. LePage is over here. This is going to be an incredible start. Let's see if Malinowski picked the right spot.
That's Doug Morrissey, the flag man for the start. Veteran flag man, knows these guys, knows their temperament. And here we go. The whole shot is critical. Oh, and a tumble right off. Right off. Funneled right down into it, just like you predicted.
The funnel effect. Sean Crapo is now taking the lead, but was that Ross Martin that went off? We're trying to look. We don't see that red sled of Martin. Oh.
LePage and Martin both in that tumble. Sean Crapo out in front. Ian Hayden right behind him. First and second transfer to the final.
Can you believe this? The history those two riders have, and they both go down. They take each other out on the start line. That is great news for everybody else in this field. And Sean Crapo and this Amsoil sharing team really needs a good result this weekend, Paul.
So Sean Crapo, one of the racing Crapo brothers, out in front. Right behind him, you see him coming through the jumps. That's Hayden, and Hayden's closing a little bit.
Hayden looking good, and he is a winner ex-rookie, so you don't expect to see these guys out. Only 2 weeks ago at a race in Brainerd, he actually dislocated his shoulder, and now he's sitting in the second-place transfer spot. Only 2 guys out of this race will go to the final.
But when you're talking the Crapos, the whole Crapo family is involved.
They really are. Curtis Crapo and Sean Crapo both racing today, and of course, their brother Jeremy, he died in mid-July 2006 from a motocross accident. They all used to race here together, so it's been been a tough year for them, but great day right now for Sean Crapo.
Sean Crapo, Hayden, Carl Shabitsky is at green sled, sitting in third place. Coming up the hill, he's within striking distance. We're only on the second lap of 8. There's plenty of time.
And Shabitsky, as we look from the Navy fly cam shot here, Shabitsky is charging down right now on Hayden, and he did come third in his heat race yesterday. He hated that, so he's going to charge. He wants that second place.
7-game veteran, Carl Shabitsky. Best finish, though, has only been 5. He wants it bad. Crapo, Hayden, Shabitsky. Shabitsky now closing. Focus is on Shabitsky. Can that green sled close up to that bright yellow sled of Hayden?
The interesting thing is that Hayden is not letting Crapo pull away. And Crapo has had problems in the past. He blew his motor last year in the finals race. But look at Hayden chase him down. Is Shabitsky going to take advantage of these two guys duking it out?
Oh, look at this as Hayden drives to the inside. He pushes Crapo high, and there you go. But look what that's going to do for Shabitsky. It helps him as well. Shabitsky now comes up alongside of Hayden. Crapo.
There was an amazing pass, and look at this, Shabitsky.
Left and right. Who's going to win this one? Oh, man.
Sean
Crapo and Shabitsky, they continue to battle. Shabitsky is number 6. Crapo is 3. Shabitsky the green sled.
Interesting that Crapo shut Shabitsky out on that corner, but it didn't work. Shabitsky managed to get past him. Now will they pull away? But look at Hayden. He has that dislocated shoulder. The question is he going to tire? Is it going to affect him as the race progresses?
Well, and just the psychological factor of Shabitsky having done that. I mean, he just nailed it in there. Now Shabitsky goes after Hayden. 0.8 of a second ahead.
You got to remember, we saw a lot of mistakes last night. Just because you're in the lead doesn't mean you'll finish in the lead. You just have to ask Dan Ebert that. But Hayden right now, as a winner ex-rookie, I bet there's a big smile on his face under that helmet. The yellow sled in front, the green sled behind, that's Shabitsky. And Shabitsky, he's giving no quarter. He's chasing him down.
And, you know, Tess, you make a very, very good point. You only have to look back to Ebert last night or to Levi LaValle a year ago in this. The course is a changing animal. And being able to read that course and look ahead and see what's good, what's bad, what you can use. But that course can reach out, grab you, and bite you. And in just seconds, what is a terrific run becomes nothing at all.
As you see them work their way up the hill here, and Shabitsky's going to chase now. He's going to try and get the inside line.
Same thing he tried to get the second place position. Comes to the inside, but he backs out of it. Shifts over again, goes for the inside. You look at the Navy fly cam view as they come down the hill. What a great shot.
125 feet at least. It looked like Hayden probably did 135. That was huge there. He is trying to get every bit of boost out of that throttle he can. He really wants to push it. But these two, look at them. The high side rail for Shabitsky, they are pulling away from the rest of the field.
And Crapo's early lead faded badly now. These two are the guys. And remember, it truly doesn't matter if they go at each other one again. It truly doesn't matter that they do that. First and second are going to go to the final, but they're going to give us a show no matter what. And you can't do what just may have happened there. Hayden just a little bobble, just a little into the soft area. Oh, Crapo is off and out. Back, looking at the front. Shabitsky got around.
Shabitsky took the lead. I was going to say he rode a very, very smart race. He had a lot of chances to try and get past, but he knows that second is almost as good as first in this race because that's what gets you to the final. But he bides his time. He manages to get past Hayden. But Hayden is still hanging on in that second position, and now that Crapo is down, there is so much space between these two guys, the leaders, and the rest of the pack.
Yeah, Hayden holding on to second, but look down the hill. I mean, it's a dot that is third place, and we're on the 6th of 8 laps. So these two are the guys, but barring any little accident. Yesterday, Blair Morgan, who should have been in the final, is going to race here in a few minutes, and part of the reason is because he didn't go for it while he was in fourth place. Had he done that, he would have been in a position to get in the race when there was trouble up front. You got to hammer it all the time.
You really just got to keep that throttle all of the way to the bars. But a very calm ride in now for the number 6, the green sled of Carl Shabitsky, one of the happiest guys on the Snowcross circuit. Big smile under the helmet for Carl Shabitsky.
One of the most deserving as well. I mean, he's paid his dues.
And there we see he fought his way up from 3rd to 1st. Look at the gap right now as we watch them come up the hill. Here comes Hayden. You can't even see the next guy behind him. It's just a blip on the screen.
So the white flag comes out, one more to go. Both Shabitsky and Hayden clearly understand that they have a pretty good lead on the 3rd place, which is Poirier. And there's no sense taking a chance here.
And I have to say, probably,
you know, as soon as I say that, you know somebody will.
The biggest shock in this race, though, Malinowski and Ross Martin, who had to be the favorites coming in here, they're both going to be out of our Winter X Games final. And that's a tough break for Malinowski, who's been running well on that number 4 Yamaha sled. And the 4-stroke technology, you know, it paid off a couple of weeks ago when he won the Pro Open race. And Yamaha, all props to them. We know the world is going 4-stroke, and that's where these guys are all going to be in the future. But Malinowski looks like he's out. Ross Martin looks like he's out. And a great day for Carl Shabitsky and Ian Hayden.
The X Games has never been particularly good to favorites. And once again, we see it happen. There you go. Shabitsky, checkered flag. Checkered flag signaling the end of his run for Ian Hayden. They will transfer to the final and join the 8 that are already there. The final coverage, of course, coming this evening on ESPN on what is, without question, the biggest snowcross event in the world is right here at X Games.
And we talked about the funnel effect off the start, and look how well it plays out. The contact between LePage and Martin. You see the red sled. Oh, Malinowski also gets bumped. Ross Martin, LePage, they come together, they tumble.
And we got a couple onboard views for you. Well, see how crowded that gets? Oh, over, back, that's Hayden. Everybody else, get on my sled, get the tether back in, get the motor started.
And here Hayden, he's coming up the rhythm section up the hill. And look at Carl Shabitsky. He's really fighting it all the way. He manages to cut the inside. He closes the door on Hayden.
Yeah, take a look at that crossover move. Wow. And here is Shabitsky as he makes his move on Hayden. This is the last time he really had to work, and once he got there, he was there forever. And so now Shabitsky and Hayden advance to the Snowcross final. And we have just 2 more. This man, Blair Morgan, the Superman, is not yet in. I'm going to tug on Superman's cape a little bit. I don't think he's trying all that hard just yet.
Well, you're looking at there, Blair Morgan. Will he be able to make his 8th straight podium here at Winter X Games? No guarantees for favorites, as Paul Page said earlier. And you know, Blair Morgan's one of the most dominant guys here at Winter X Games.
Blair Morgan, that guy 5-time Snowcross gold medalist. He had his chance to qualify for the final. It's coming up when we come back.
After a mediocre X Games start in '98, Blair Morgan has gone on to dominate this sport.
Silver medalist again, Blair Morgan.
The man of the moment. A 3-time gold medalist. Surprisingly, they're battling for 3rd. There's the experience. 5 gold medals for Blair Morgan. And there is Blair Morgan on the line, ready to go in this second and final heat, the last chance to get into the final of the race. The question, is the fire there? Let's go back and take a look at those that have now already made it in. I'm Paul Page with Tess Sewell and Jerry Bernardo, giving you your coverage today. And Shabitsky and Hayden, they've joined the 8 that qualified into the field yesterday in heat number 1. We're now in 2 races that are heat number 2. And Still now just 2 men to make it in. And there's Dan Ebert. He led all the way yesterday, but show you how fast things can happen. All of a sudden, out of the lead, his brake failed on him because they actually used the brake and throttle to fly the sled. And this is what happened. From the lead to the snow, TJ Gula went right over the top of him, congratulated him for the early good ride, but Gula went on, and Hayden Ebert's just trying to get in. And Blair Morgan, he's trying as well. In fact, there will be 12 trying on the line. Let's take a look at the Jeep lineup now and show you everybody. And some of the biggest names in the sport are still trying to make it in. Patton, Morgan.
Can you believe that Morgan is sitting there on that line? Ebert, he wants some redemption today, but Zach Patton was so fast. He took third yesterday. Can he come out of the gate fast again?
So they're on the line.
So Morgan, Patton, Ebert, they're all on this outside. Is that going to be a benefit for them when the funnel event comes?
It's been a traffic jam in the past. Let's see what happens now. The other gets pushed up on the high side. One sled down. Actually, they got through that a little smoother than I expected, and you've got a whole gaggle up the front.
Blair Morgan got a decent start. He ended up in fourth place. Oh, what happened?
7C Blair Morgan off the edge of the course. Oh, no. An X Games final without Blair. Is it possible?
And we see a green sled also off there. Who is that going to be? Oh, it's Ebert.
Unbelievable. Blair Morgan now struggling just to get it restarted. It's over. It's over for Morgan. He's out of it. X-Ray Bender, they're the two in front. They're the only two that count, the only two who qualify. That's Pichet sitting back in third place and trying to come up to the front. 8-lap race. It's very, very quick. There's enough guys in contact, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Guys like DJ Ekstrom, who is so powerful here, that still can make it up to the front.
Remember, Bender, he's really fast. He has the same machinery, the same power as his teammates TJ Gula and Levi LaValle, who are already through to the final. So Bender just needs to ride smoothly. They've all been riding practices together as a team. Very smart strategy. Can he manage to hold the rest of the field off and go smooth around all 8 laps? But he definitely has a challenge right now for Neckley.
Now keep your eye on that battle at second place. Ekray and Pichet right now. That marks the battle, and that is the transfer spot. That's the one that matters. I can't believe it. Blair Morgan is in.
And Bender loves to race from the front. And let's take a look at what happened to Blair Morgan.
He gets totally in a traffic jam.
Oh!
They ricochet off him. He turns his sled sideways, and that's when he gets clipped.
He goes sideways here, and then Ebert, the 602, the green sled, has nowhere to go. He just T-bones right into the track. That is incredible. Blair Morgan Superman finally found his kryptonite.
Yeah, but you know what? I got to give him credit. He was where he was supposed to be. He had his nose in there. He was fighting it.
And you know, you're fighting for the same 30 feet of real estate, 12 sleds. That's an awful lot of machines racing this course. Look at Bender. He looks pretty comfortable. He looks back to see Ekray. And where's Pichet? He was really
falling back. Bender, Ekray, Pichet, and Patton. Those are your top 4. And let me tell you, Pichet, Patton, Kurt Crapo, Matt Judnick, they're all still capable of reaching second place. We're still on the 4th lap and only halfway.
I think the interesting thing to look at for this race would be DJ Ekray and the fact that he had nothing but sled problems all week long. The question is, will the sled hold together through the whole race so he can stay in second place?
Bender, the 20-year-old on the Polaris, out in front from Boston, New York. Here comes Ekray. Finished 7th in round 1, so this second is going to be a redemption for him if he can keep it, and that's the big question mark. So you wouldn't see it here. He's not real big on the big air, and he's got one jump where he's going to fly at least 120 feet.
And just to make him suffer that extra little bit, Joe Duncan, our course designer, also built the finish line now over 100 feet. So that's a long way to fly just at the finish.
Right or off. Oh, no.
Oh.
Exactly. We're just talking about it. Wow. Well, said he didn't like it.
Well, you said he didn't like it. We said you got to keep pushing all the way through because you never know what happens. There's the proof. Pichet now moves into that second spot, the transfer position. Can he hold off Zach Patton, who is charging now? What an incredible turn up for Ekram.
It's going to be all up to Pichet right now. Take a look at this. Pichet, Patton, they run right together. So that's where we care now. Bender, he's gone. He's a full 8 seconds out in front. He's just got to be careful. He doesn't even have to go at full tilt. These two guys, they're battling for what matters.
And Pichet on the 518 sled, the one in front there, he actually has a broken finger because another sled landed on him a couple of weeks ago. It tore right through his finger. I don't even know how he manages to hang on to that sled, but he's so tough. He's a bull rider, and he's been through all kinds of adventures. At one point, a bull actually stepped on his face and broke the entire side of his face. The very next week, he got up on the same bull and rode it.
I'll tell you what, you see that next bulls all the time. But let's talk about that a little more as they continue, and they go side by side. All right.
Patton got the inside line, trying to shut the door. Can he hold it through here up to the rhythm section?
Looks like he can.
A great move for 99, Zach Patton.
So Patton takes over second place, 10 seconds behind the leader, Bender. First and second are the only thing that count.
Patton had some troubles yesterday with his carburetor loading. It wasn't getting the power. Every time he hit the back of one of those technical rhythm jumps, it would kind of die a little. It seems like the Warnick team has fixed it for today, and Patton is actually pulling away from Pichet.
Well, let's think about this and the fact that X Games is never particularly nice to favorites. Morgan, Ekstrom, all of them, no chance.
Patton is defining that second place. He's really riding smooth. And he's such a young kid. He's 18 years old. But very, very mature on the sled. Now, you need to ride smart. Don't make any mistakes, because we've seen a lot of them already. Second place is all he needs, and he is in tonight's final.
Anthony Anderson gives him the white flag. One more lap to go. Next event will be the final. And there are the two that will move into the final, assuming that they get through the last lap. Bender and Patton. Pichet trying to close, but I'll tell you what. Yeah, this is the whole sweep of youth through the sport of snowcross. Here you got Brett Bender at age 20. You already mentioned Zach Patton at 18, was 10th last year. Almost made it into the final in the one. Whoa! Don't do that. Oh, man. The last thing you want to do on a final lap. Just ask LaValle.
We know he almost did a LaValle.
LaValle last year in the final, he had it all the way until the white flag and then fell right at the line. Still finished up with a silver, but it would have been a gold.
Bender comes across the finish line to take first. That means his team is pretty strong in the final. And Zach Patton, something happened to Patton out there.
Looking for him now as we take a look at Brett Bender, who will advance to the final along with Pichet. This is a new format, and it's not like they do it on the tour, but I like it. I mean, you're in or you are out. Here's the start again.
blazing off the start, and right at the end there, a little extra juice from Blair Morgan. He was coming out of this tangle in 4th place, which wasn't bad. That's where he needed to be. But look at that funnel. Look how tight it gets. You have to back off and hit the brakes.
And there is Blair getting in trouble. Just got squeezed right in. Sled went sideways and then got tagged. Day is done. Superman goes up to the Ice Palace now, don't you think? Think this one over.
Wow, tough. He hits Ekstrom on the outside. And Ebert, that's so sad. Just nowhere to go. His day is over.
And then we took up this battle. What was nice was it was a fight all the way in this one, right? Well, maybe not on the last lap, but they were hammering.
They really were 2 tough guys. But this is so interesting. We talk about these young guns and the changing of the guard, and wow! Zach Patton almost went off right there, and that was the last lap.
One thing they do have to learn, stay on it all the way to the end. Some of them have not yet learned that little skill. So now our stage is completely set. And the question is, what will happen in the final? These 4, Shabitsky, Hayden, Bender, and Pichet, all as a result of this round 2 action, will join the rest of the gang with Hibbert as number 1 seed when we go to the line in the finals tonight. The final is just moments away, and it's Daytona, Indy, the Super Bowl, all rolled into one for the Snowcross world. I'm Paul Page. Tess Sewell is alongside Jerry Bernardo, Jamie Little. They're down on the circuit itself. And a new 2-round format has created some surprises and paid off the fans. And here we go. Tucker Hibbert just came screaming out of there.
Look at how far Tucker Hibbert has pulled away from the rest of the field.
It felt awesome to get out front, and once I put a few laps down, I started getting real comfortable and just, kind of brought back old memories and just rode like I knew how to ride.
Turcotte is holding off Levi LaValle.
I ended up getting by him, and then I just was like, all right, just calm down, just ride smooth. And I was fortunate to stay on my snowmobile and finish first.
So there he is, launching Levi LaValle. Is looking for a big case of redemption. He moves directly into the final.
I'm just praying that I don't have another last year's situation.
Round 1, heat 2 is underway.
Morgan is starting to work his way up the hill. Is he going to have enough time?
This course has really been beating him up pretty hard.
I think some of those technical mistakes have cost him.
It looks like Ebert's going to go on to the win on this, the final lap. Oh, no! No! Can you believe it?
Luckily, I was far enough behind where I could see that he was laying down in the bottom of the hole, and I had to double over it. I think if I would have rolled it, it would have been way ugly.
TJ Gula, he takes the win, and Blair Morgan will have to go to round 2 competition in order to make it into this final.
Guys who are getting good starts are getting into the final. Not saying that they're not very good riders, but they're kind of no names a little bit.
Blair Morgan got a decent start. He ended up in 4th place. Oh, what happened?
Blair Morgan off the edge of the course. Oh, no. It's over for Morgan. He's out of it.
And with Blair Morgan out, 12 guys are going to line up right here. Grab a handful of 160 horsepower right down that straightaway into that tight left-hand turn where we've seen a lot of carnage. Jamie Little, that is just the beginning of 18 grueling laps.
And Jerry, they'll hit the big air jump behind me 18 times. From takeoff to the sweet spot landing, it's about 125 feet. This is where experience will prevail. Their timing must be perfect to hit the double jump, and then it's throttle on into the Talladega turn. Paul, this is where I expect to see some passing and some mistakes.
And if you see mistakes, Levi LaValle just last year had gold snatched from his hand with 1 lap to go. Here are the first 8 in the final, qualified out of round 1.
Hibbert, LaValle, and Gula are certainly the favorites, but with the youngest starting field in Winter X Snowcross Finals history, anything could happen.
And these 4 round off the 12. The biggest course they've ever seen, the longest race they've ever run, and it's coming up in minutes. Well, I think think pileups is the word of the day. And if they can get through that first turn, I'll love it. They'll love it as well. Here are the rules that bring us eventually to the gold medal. And down on the line, the 12 weight, one single line of 12. There is Tucker Hibbert. He has more medals than the rest of the field combined. You'll keep an idea on him.
And interestingly enough, next to Tucker, the next guy to choose was Levi LaValle. He said, I'm going to sit next to Tucker Hibbert. This is the best place to start. Well, we'll soon see if that's actually the fact. Because look who's next to Levi. It's his teammate, TJ Gula. So, Hibbert, LaValle, Gula, 1, 2, 3.
And here is our Navy 12-pack. It shows you exactly who will start, focusing now on Gula and Schultz.
TJ Gula has been fast. He's been fast all season. We know he's got the skills to do this. But Schultz, I think, has the fitness to hang on all of the way through all of the 18 laps.
Now, one of the key factors is what you're calling the tunnel effect, Tess.
Well, they funnel down here at the start because there's a pinch point right there you see in the corner by those Jeep banners. And what happens is the guy on the inside comes along here and he goes up here. But the guy on the outside comes this way and, oh, look what happens, right in the middle.
So now they count down. Doug Morrissey has the flag ready to give it for the start. Youngest Snowcross final, average age 23. Tucker Hibbert watched almost every minute of the grooming. We're ready. Oh, Hibbert comes flying out of there. But the inside, Hibbert's in trouble, and they all get caught up high. But they keep going.
It looked like a great start for Ryan Simons, the 67 green sled, and that is Matt Pichet coming around the outside, but all sorts of carnage up there on the Daytona turn.
Coming up the hill now. There you get a good look at Hibbert in second place and two different lines. You'll see that a lot during this 18-lap run.
You see the two green sleds, Simons and Shabitsky, but Matt Pichet, who was the spoiler for Blair Morgan at the start of the race, he is having a great start.
Simons in front, but now Hibbert comes on and begins the attack as we look at the Navy fly cam. Hibbert in pursuit on the downhill of Simons.
125 feet down the hill into that double around what we call Talladega turn, and Hibbert is now pursuing Ryan Simons. How long will it be before Hibbert can make the move?
Well, you think of all the people in this field. Ryan's has been fifth twice here. He, of course, won his heat to get here. He certainly knows the game. The real question will come more toward the end. How fit are they? How good are they at handling these sleds, literally manhandling and throwing the sleds lap after lap for 18 long laps? There's the fight for third coming toward you. Pichet, Shabitsky.
And the field is still pretty close behind there. They come up this very technical rhythm section. Gula and LaValle had a bad start. And because of that, they're going to have to fight their way through the pack to catch up to whatever happens at the front.
And Hibbert makes the move for the front. Keep an eye a little further back. You know, we had really expected, as I told Sal, that there would be problems in the first laps. We're now 3 laps in, and it's been fine.
Oh, we've seen so many problems in qualifying in this course. A lot of big surprises as Tucker Hibbert is chasing down the 67 of Ryan Simons and the black monster sled. Oh!
He almost drops it. Hibbert decides to come in on the inside line behind Simons. And look at that. I mean, it just, you would expect some mistakes. Jamie Little told us you might see some there. You wouldn't expect them from Tucker Hibbert, would you?
Someone needs to call that guy and remind him there are 18 laps in this race. You don't have to get out front right now. You need to bide your time, ride a smart race, because we know he has all the power and all the skill and determination in the world. He'll find a way to get past Ryan Simons.
But Tucker Hibbert, who as a rookie took the gold medal, and then last year didn't even make it into the final. And he's got something to prove here tonight. He's been hot on the tour. They've run 4 nationals. He's won 2 of them.
Interestingly enough,
there it goes! Yeah! Just one little mistake, and Simons gives it away to Hibbert. And that's the way you ought to get a pass.
And we hate to say I told you so, but all he had to do was wait, and something happened. But interestingly enough, charging up behind these two, TJ Gula has now moved all the way up into fourth. The question is, as this race continues, will he be able to charge enough to catch Hibbert?
Back and take a look at that pass. Now keep an eye on the green sled. That's Simons. And just really two back-to-back mistakes. Gets off the left side. Has to gather it back under, and by the time he does, Hibbert with the momentum is gone. Willock on board.
And look at this from Tucker Hibbert. It's looking back at him, and he's checking out basically what is going on with this course, because every lap the course degrades. The snowmobile tracks eat away at these snow lips, so every time you come around, it's changed. You never know quite where to go.
Look back up the course, you'll see the number 6 sled of Karl Shabitsky and the 44 of TJ Gula. They're third and fourth right now, and they're still very much in contact with the front.
And a great shot there of the technical rhythm section coming up the hill. We called it a man-eater, and it really has been a challenge for the past few days.
Green number 6 as we look at the Jeep Flycam. That's Shabitsky. The 44 of TJ Gula is right behind him. They are third and fourth. Hibbert is still the leader. Simons is still in second. Whoa. It's nothing if not thrilling. This is so good. Crystal cold sky overhead, crowd all jamming through the circuit.
There are just thousands and thousands of people here watching this. They've been lining up for hours. Karl Shabitsky and TJ Gula are two of the fittest guys on the circuit. They really are machines. You know, Karl had got himself into a new gym before this, so we know they're fit enough to hang for 18 laps, but they need to charge to catch up to this guy, Tucker Hibbert, who is on the lead.
But this man is so far out in front now. Tucker Hibbert didn't make the final last year. Is it gold this year? But remember that other little word that Jamie mentioned, mistakes. We've seen it happen. We saw it happen with LaValle last year. We saw it happen in the heats here. Just one little error, and you are done.
Tucker is a consummate professional. He spent at least an hour out on the course, going over every inch on foot. He consulted with Joe Duncan, and he asked him, what's going to happen to this course? I need to know. It's paying off now because he understood the course better, I think, than anybody else out there.
Looking for the appearance of TJ Gula. Got a question mark now. If you take a look at Simons, he's the second place, and that shows you the lead.
It's just a huge gap that Tucker Hibbert has put on the field already. Simons, though, holding his own, has shown promise this season. And I think we've pegged this guy as maybe a bit of a dark horse, but certainly riding great, coming from a great start. And that corner is getting really chewed up.
And there's TJ Gula, and how did he get around Shabitsky and Inman to third place? This is how it happened.
He comes around the inside line, and this is tougher because there are actually more rollers on the inside. But in practice, TJ Gula went through this section more times than anybody else out there. And I think every time he comes up the hill, it pays off.
And that's saying something because every racer was out there studying that section, running it. They'd study it. They'd run it. Back to the leader, Tucker Hibbert on 68. And now, for the first time, Tucker Hibbert is going to have traffic to deal with, and he's going to have to do it for 2 laps. Let me assure you, he needs to tiptoe. On one hand, the guys in front of him, in all likelihood, will do what they can to let the leader come through. Look at the Mountain Dew Flycam. But on the other hand, they can be in a battle for themselves, not even know that the leader is there, and accidentally block him.
And even more important, there are a lot pros and a couple of rookies in this field who may not be used to riding at this level. They could make a mistake that would cost Tucker Hibbert the race. So Tucker has to maybe pull it back a little bit now as he goes through the field and choose his battles very carefully.
5 first-timers for the final, 4 semi-pros, and 2 rookies in this field. But I'll tell you what, Tucker Hibbert is looking awfully good. It's funny when you catch a momentum as he has off the WPSA Tour with his 2 victories there. It just tends to carry you further and further forward, and it's certainly got him by the horns here.
I had a great conversation with him a couple of weeks ago about the fact that he is going back to the Supercross season where he races motorcycles in the Supercross Lights class. He said riding these sleds is going to be a big disadvantage for him. They're 450 pounds. They're ungainly. You have to really fight them. And going into motorcycles is going to be a big challenge.
Levi LaValle is off the circuit. 108 hasn't been that strong, made it up to 5th, but now he's off the circuit again. We'll try to get a further update on that. And here it comes. White flag. One more lap for Tucker Hibbert. And what a show this has been. But look at this, as here comes Simons. We wait for him. We go back to the leader. Simons is actually so far back, it's almost a full straightaway from the leader, Tucker Hibbert. He's just absolutely mashed everybody else in the field.
He showed this promise 2 weeks ago in Brainerd, Minnesota, in the WPSA Nationals. He came out and was just so dominant in the pro stock class. Now, he's had such a great weekend, the wire-to-wire qualifying run. And tonight, he didn't even stop me to shake people's hands. He's high-fiving the crowd.
Over, say hi. How you doing? Congratulations. I got plenty of time, but don't, please, Tucker, don't screw it up. Don't show off too much.
And, you know, we quote Levi LaValle last year.
And there it is. Gold number 2, medal number 6. Anthony Anderson with the checkered flags.
And here comes Ryan Simons.
And Simons finishes in 2nd, takes the silver, and Gula 3rd. Wow. What a dominating run. He is, in fact, a monster. And Blair Morgan, what would it have been if Blair only could have made it to this race? Man, I want to see those two go head-to-head again and again. Good sportsmanship. Great congratulations. Yeah, this will be a long, long celebration. One that he started on the final lap. And it couldn't happen for a nicer guy. T.J. Hibbert has taken the gold at X Games in Snowcross. We'll be back to talk with him. Did I tell you that they calculated the fuel pretty close? Tucker Hibbert ran out of fuel at the top of the course of his victory lap and had to push the sled down to the bottom and to the victory celebration. Here's Jerry Bernardo.
Tucker, take a deep breath, okay?
Man.
Now, feeding off the anguish of not actually qualifying last year was the secret to your success, not only your talent, coming out and racing the first few rounds of the WPSA.
You know what, I think it made a huge difference. We were able to get some good races, under our belt. We got our equipment dialed in. And I think it just, showed that we made the right decisions out here, and our equipment was working awesome. Monster Energy and Arctic Cat, my mechanics, my dad, Kirk, Rob, Paul, everybody at Arctic Cat, they just built me an awesome sled. And I just sat there on the line, and I knew that I had the best sled on the line. So I just put that confidence in the back of my head and rode like I knew how to do for 18 laps, and it worked out.
Now, when you went for the pass for the lead, tell me about that.
Well, I was behind Ryan Simons, fellow Arctic Cat rider. It was awesome to see him up front, and he made a couple mistakes through the little rhythm section before the finish line, so I knew that there was an opportunity to get him there, and then he just bobbled a little bit again, so I took advantage and was able to pass him going up the finish line jump.
Well, it's been a long time. I've kind of been hanging on to this, but I got a little something for you. Remember back when you were 15 when I interviewed you? Check out the gold. Tucker Hibbert, congratulations, brother.
Thank you very much, man. It's been a long time, and I just got to thank all my fans for sticking behind me, and all my team, my crew, my fiance Mandy, my mom, hey mom, and just everybody's awesome. Without everybody behind me, I couldn't be here, and thank the good Lord for blessing me in so many ways, and I'm just happy to be here.
Well, you deserve it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, Tucker is back. Tucker Hibbert takes the win. Simons takes the silver. Gula takes the bronze. So, as promised, the final in Snowcross, Sal, absolutely the best. And Tucker up at the top.
This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in action sports.